there's no way that you can turn things around on a dime. Um, I always heard when I was younger, the kids are the future. And I think that current society has lost sight of that, especially like a lot of parents, because so many parents don't sacrifice, even to the point where, unless it's like horrible, you guys are fighting all the time, you guys need to figure it out and work it out, at least until the kids get old enough, and just work it out. And I'm a hypocrite for saying that, but guess what? it's experience talking, and it's not like I'm out here trying to get remarried and do the same thing again. I made my mistakes. I had no idea what I was doing back then. I was pretty much thrown into the world and told, "Oh, girls like nice guys." Yeah. So that's a bunch of bullshit. It is a bunch of bullshit. So how do we fix some of the most degenerate parts of our society in America? Now, I'm trying to view this as the most humane way as I can, because I don't want people to suffer. I don't want people to die. I don't like when people put other people into slavery. So I don't like how America enslaves other countries to keep us propped up. I don't like Walmart or Apple or Nike. They might have everything clean now. They might have everything correct now. But in the past, some of these companies have used like extreme labor, cheap labor from other countries, like sweatshops, to profit, and sold to Americans. So Americans, are benefiting off the backs of other people. I don't like that. It should be fair. I want fair treatment for people, fair rights for everyone on the whole planet, all humans, not just here. Unless like you don't want to be a part. You don't have to be a part of it. You can sit back and live in the Stone Ages. That's go ahead and be a Neanderthal, and don't evolve into a civilized human being. Because we can exist without chaos and war and all this violence and shit. It can happen. And I think that it's mostly just trying to be patient and understanding each other. And I think that a lot of problems arise, whether it's drama or whatever, arguments happen just from basic misunderstandings, misinterpretations. And that's it. And I don't think that people, generally speaking, are out to try to cause people harm. There are people that do. I'm not going to say there isn't. But, because there is evil on this planet, mostly leftist, but because they're in a death cult. Everything that they are for leads to one thing: no more humans. That's what they want. No more humans. So I just despise what the left has become. Maybe the left chills out and actually becomes what they used to be. But no, I despise. Like I said, I might be fighting against MAGA. Dude, in my lifetime, I hated Republicans. I hated the right. I would have been labeled a far leftist. Now, I would be looked at as a conservative. But the thing is, I have views for both sides. So I'm politically homeless. So we definitely need a third party. Anyway. How do you undo? God, this is such authoritarian. It is bad. Because when you start talking about camps and reforming camps and stuff, it is but you can't, you have to have a civil society. You can't have people out here coming out here committing like mass shootings and killing kids. You cannot have that. That is the like the worst thing. And banning guns is not the answer. Banning guns, all you do when you ban guns is you take the guns out of the good guys, the law-abiding citizens. Because the bad people are still going to have their guns and they're still going to get guns. There's black markets. There's black markets to this day in America. People like the sex trade or like human trafficking or like all these, there's all these people, you know, like, there's all these different types of markets and stuff right now that hasn't gone away. So the best thing to do is oh man, you gotta remove. First thing I think is, dude, I'm sorry, it's a privilege to have a child. To bring another human into this world, and I don't think that anybody's cut out for it. Just because you're a human, you shouldn't be able to bring in a fucking kid. I'm sorry, and I know that sounds authoritarian, but there's certain people who are outright disgusting pieces of shit. Or they have mental problems and they really shouldn't be raising and fucking guiding kids. Or, you know, like do you want, should a child molester have kids? You know, like, so it's like, you want certain people to be, you know, castrated. So it's like, my whole thing is, here's my thing. This is what I would do. And this is horrible. It's very authoritarian and very unpopular with everybody. But this view is, if you rely on the government and you had a kid and you need the community to help pitch in to take care of your kid with their tax dollars, since you fucked up and had kids with somebody that you shouldn't have had kids with, obviously you've put yourself in a situation with their family where they're not going to support you. So you made some really bad decisions. It shouldn't be rewarded with free money. Well, okay, you can't have no more. You have to have a hysterectomy. And if you're a dude out here, you have to have a vasectomy. You can't. I'm sorry. Like, if you aren't taking care, if you're a deadbeat dad, if you don't want to take care of your kids, then you don't need to be having any more kids. So you're people are highly irresponsible, and that's a consequence for the choices that they've made. There's consequences, because you can't ask society to help you out and then like you continue to make more mistakes. There's women out here that have like 8 kids from like 8 different guys, and it's like, dude, stop fucking up, man. At this point, you're doing it on purpose. You're just trying to like play the system and try to get as much money as you can out, and that is wrong. So like, those, like, if you need help, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. And it's going to get to this point because we're not going to be able to give out welfare. But this is the humane way. You shouldn't be able to have any more kids. I'm sorry. Now, if you know, you can have 150 kids if you want, if you can provide for them. But if you need the community and taxpayer funded subsidies to help you out, well, I'm sorry, you can't have no more kids. That's the choices you've made. And then perhaps from this, the next generation will learn. It's so crazy that people haven't learned anything with all the information on the internet, because they're all like fascinated with cat videos and stupid shit like that, how to cook this and that. But you know, I like cat videos. I think they're pretty funny, but I don't sit here and watch them all fucking day like that's it. Or watch dumb reality shows all fucking day, or just football all fucking day. I'm listening, and I might be playing a game or something, but I'm listening to highly intelligent figures, and it gains me more knowledge. So why did this get back on me? I forgot the whole point of that. But what I'm saying is, if you want the community to help you, like, okay, then don't ask the community to help you. You know, and if you don't want to get a hysterectomy, then you better get your shit together, because we're not going to sit here and pay for you. Because welfare needs to be something that is not a permanent thing. That is the big thing. That's the big problem. So like having to make those drastic fucking changes, because and there's certain circumstances where kids shouldn't be in that toxic environment, and they need to be removed from the house, and it sucks. You should give them a chance to reform themselves, like the parents, because obviously they don't have their shit together either. You know, they might be on drugs. They might not like really parent the kid. They let them do what the fuck they want. They don't really give a shit. But if they want to learn and they want to evolve and they want, like, they should be given a chance so they can stay with the kid, you know? But people have a lot of trauma to them, and this is the average American is toxic as fuck. It's like the youth is completely desensitized, completely, and like the average person is like a narcissist nowadays. That's a regular thing. Yeah, at one point, families actually stay together. Now, like half of the families end up in divorce. So like the broken family thing is like such a normal thing. And this place is just so toxic now. So like you definitely need some major reforms. But the problem is, it's kind of like you're stepping on my freedoms. But if you're asking the government for welfare and for help, like you're giving up your freedoms. It's pretty much like people who are on welfare shouldn't vote. Why are you voting? You're not doing anything. You're just taking from the system. Maybe even politicians shouldn't vote. Because what do they do? Like, I don't even know how far you go down with that. Like, government employees. Maybe it should just be regular citizens can vote. Because you could be like biased. I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be like systems that AI is going to think of, and it's going to correct a lot of our problems. And that's what gives me the white pill, is the technology to help guide us to wherever we're going. Multi-planets, but like if I'm traveling, right, and I go to a country, when I go to Africa, I want it to be Africa. If I go to Ireland, I want it to be Ireland. If I go to China, I want it to be China. I don't want it all mixed up like it's a big shopping mall, like commercialized, like everyone has the same. Like, no, if I want to experience this culture from this different place, like that's why I say, like, if I'm gonna go move somewhere, I'm gonna assimilate to their culture to the T. I'm gonna adapt and try to be as much like them as possible. And not to mock or deride these people, but to show respect, that I have a lot of respect for their traditions and their culture, that I'm adopting it myself in my own life, instead of being entitled and being like, no, you got to change to my culture. You know, and like, we're humans, man. We're so immature at this point. And possibly we could evolve past all that, the culture stuff and whatever, man. We all end up just being like one race, and like we all live in kumbaya, and like we're all good. Like, cool, man. That's what I want. I want peace. I don't want violence. I don't want war. Like, I think that we're too immature to have nuclear weapons. They should decommission all the nukes, America, everybody. And if anybody like tries to construct nukes, then like they face huge financial consequences, and like shamed basically by the rest of the world, and have their back. It was like, you can be a part of the solution, you know, kind of be, and don't be pushing this LGBT stuff, man. If that's what you want to do, that's cool, but it's just like, dude, most people aren't most people are straight people on the whole world. Like, that community, if you put that community compared to like the population of the whole world, it is like a minuscule fraction compared to the whole world. You know, so like you have all these humans who believe, you know, like a certain way, like, and they might be accepting of other people. Like me, I'm accepting. Cool, go do your thing. Don't bother me, I won't bother you. You know, that's pretty much how I go about it. But yeah, I think that's what you have to do. And you have to, these communities, oh man, some of some of these people in these communities have generational curses that need to be broken. Like, I couldn't imagine living in some of these like toxic communities in America. Like, you always have to watch your back. You have to worry about like somebody, and it could be anywhere. It's not just in the cities. I could be out in like boomfield nowhere, and there's a bunch of meth addicts in my town because everyone turned into a drug addict, and somebody next door blows up their house because they've been cooking meth wrong or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, and like steal or whatever. So it's absolutely horrible, man. But I think there's ways to change. It's just, you have to change and people will change. People will follow. That's quite clear that people will follow. And that's what COVID taught me. It taught anyone who's really paying attention how the masses are basically fucking sheep, and you could just tell them anything. And if you get a big section of it, like it's kind of like high school, where if you don't fit in, then you're like the outsider. And you know how hard it is. At first, it was for me to be wearing Trump stuff into work. Like, I feel like people look at me like I'm racist because they're ignorant. But like, that's not the social norm. And I'm not too sure how popular Trump is, like, with the commons, because this state that I'm currently in is a liberal state, and they voted for Biden. It's kind of mixed, but that's it.